everyone, my name is Chelsea Rivera and this is my fitness education presentation for Kinesiology 562. I hope you enjoy. First thing I'm going to talk about is going to be the health and movement assessments that I used for my client throughout the semester. So the first one is going to be the functional movement screening, which is also known as FMS. It consists of 7 individual tests that challenge the mobility and stability. It's a score ranging from 0 to 3, 0 being pain occurs during the exercise, 1 being that the subject is unable to complete the movement or assume the position. 2 is going to be the subject is able to complete the movement with a little bit of an adjustment, and 3 is the subject is able to perform the movement correctly without any modifications. There are 3 clearing tests that occur, which is a pass or fail, so a pain or no pain, and they occur after the shoulder mobility, the trunk stability, and the rotary stability. On the side, you'll see the FMS that I did for my client. You'll see the scoring for left and right, as well as the recorded score total, and at the bottom, it summed up to 14. The next assessment I used was the PARQ, which is the Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire. This is for people aged 15 to 69 to determine if they are able to participate in physical activity. The first page consists of yes or no questions that must be answered truthfully. These are questions that are very important to make sure that they are getting the proper workout advice. The second page is going to go through the history, the symptoms, other health questions, and cardiovascular risk factors, and it's a matter of just simply checking the box if it does apply. The next slide has an example of my volunteers. So as you can see, she selected no for all the yes and no questions, which means that she's able to do majority of any type of exercise that she wants. The second page that consists of the checking if it applies, she hit none of the above, so she should be able to do the exercise workout without having to consult her physician. So do these health assessments help? I say yes. They give you a little background of the client, their health history, what they've gone through, and it helps to determine how well they know about certain exercises as well. You're able to see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and it also helps you to create a plan to make sure that you're not pushing them when they have knee injuries or if they have shoulder mobility issues. It's pretty much just an overall thing to help guide you to create that perfect plan for your client. Periodization. So what is it? It's a tool that we use to help build a workout plan for an athlete. It consists of training cycles that take into consideration what the athlete's goals are. And it considers both physical and physiological adaptations to make sure that the athletes aren't overtraining. When you're trying to train for an event, this is a great option for you. Our plan for our client was a mesocycle, which is 2 or more cycles within a training year, and it lasts several weeks to several months. Our status for our client is a beginner, and her goal is to increase muscular endurance as well as lose body fat. Exercise selection. So the importance behind that is going to be that the sequence of exercises and the number of muscle groups trained during a workout will affect the acute expression of the muscular strengths. We want to make sure we're working out the right muscles to get the right goals and to get the right turnouts. If the client lacks upper body strength, that means we want to obviously build strength there, so we're wanting to focus a lot on upper body. And then if they have certain weaknesses, then we want to kind of adjust the weight on that, or maybe not do a certain exercise, as well as their strengths. If they have strengths, then we want to make sure we're pushing them in those strengths to make them even better with them. It's also a selection based off what equipment is available. For us, for instance, we had dumbbells available, so we did a lot of dumbbell workouts. And then the amount of time. So if you have a certain amount of an hour, then you want to make sure you're getting all the workout plan that you have scheduled for that day in that hour. The order of exercises is very important. So you want to start off with your power exercises first. These exercises tend to help build more towards the athlete's specific sport. An example would be snatch or hang clean. Then you'll move on to your non-power exercises, so step-ups or hip thrusts. And then you want to move to your assistant exercises, which dips, bicep curls, calf raises, things like that. Some Options to do are the push and pull, which you alternate, and that helps to with the recovery time, as well as doing alternating days of lower and upper body, which is my favorite thing to do. This will definitely allow your muscles to recover a lot better if you're alternating what you're working on each day. So the frequency, intensity, and duration. So our client's going to work out 5 days a week with 2 rest days. The workouts were moderate to high intensity. Training at a moderate velocity produces the greatest endurance. So that's a key thing since that is her goal. The workouts tend to range from 40 minutes to an hour, and reps would be about 12 or less, and then the sets would be 2 to 3. Your rest periods would be about 3 minutes. Progression. So load increases will help the athlete to adapt to the workout, and as well as it'll help them to improve over time while they're doing this workout by adding weight. I enjoyed the 2 for 2 method, which is a method that can be used to increase the athlete's training loads. So if the athlete can perform 2 or more repetitions over their assigned repetition goal in the last set in 2 consecutive workouts for any of the given exercises, then weight should be added to the next time that they do the training. For upper body, it would be adding between 2.5 to 5 pounds. For lower body, 5 to 10 pounds. This plan is for help the client to increase the intensity throughout the mesocycle. So this would definitely be a linear, traditional periodization scheme. Exercise technique. So the upper body workout that we chose was the dumbbell press with leg raise. It is a compound exercise. In the video below, she raises the dumbbells properly. She makes sure she uses her thighs to get them up. And then the dumbbells were on the side of the chest, and the breathing technique was correct as well. As she sat up, she did properly as well. We don't want to drop them to the side because that can affect your rotator cuffs there. What she did kind of have more of a negative factor on was that at the beginning she was doing the half reps. That is not your full mobility, and we want to get your strength up, so we want to make sure we're doing full reps. As the weight went up, you could tell she started to lose controls of the dumbbells a little more. So my advice was to start with the strongest arm first to get the dumbbells up, and then the other one will follow. For lower body, we did the dumbbell lunge, which is also a compound exercise. Some of the positives were she held the dumbbells at the side, her feet were shoulder length apart, her breathing technique was great, her back was great. The negatives is she wasn't stepping wide enough, which was causing her to lean forward and her knees to extend past the toes. That is a lot of strain on your knees. So we just had to adjust that by just making sure she was taking a wider step. Application and faith integration. So my career goal at the end of this is to either become an athletic trainer or a college softball coach. With this program, I've learned how to create a workout for my athletes based off what their goals are and what their sports are. I learned how to properly complete these exercises so that I'm making sure my athlete is doing it correctly, and then as well as looking into injury awareness, because the last thing we want is for our athlete to become injured while doing workouts. So that definitely was something that was super important to me. Some of the things I struggled was the determining of the load of the workout. So the RMs and 1RMs, I was totally confused about it, but I think doing more research on it will help me to kind of determine better what the loads should be for each exercise. Another thing would be the anatomical terms. I kind of got a little bit of info on that, and I kind of have an idea, but there's still some things that I'm struggling on, and I think the best thing to do is just to get myself reading up more on anatomical terms and get myself a little more familiar with it. So the 3 scriptures I chose that demonstrate Christ-likeness would be Hebrews 13:16, which to me means that we shouldn't ignore clients or stop sharing what info we have about training and health. If we're kind and care for others, God will be pleased with us. The second one is 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. Which our bodies are a gift from God, so we want to make sure we're helping others properly care for their bodies by making sure they're doing the workouts properly and take the proper steps of recovery. If we see someone doing an exercise improperly, then we should assist them and show them the correct way. The third one, Proverbs 17:22. When I read this, I want to work with clients to make sure that I have a cheerful attitude. If we're upset, we shouldn't bring that to the session. We don't want to pass our bad attitude on to somebody else. So we need to put whatever things we have aside and focus strictly on the client and make sure that we're bringing a good spirit to them. So the patterns similarity with how Christ interacted with people. I really liked Acts 20:35. To me, Jesus would always put others first before himself. He would always help those in need, no matter who they were. He would give other people his time, energy, and love. And if we allow ourselves to help others, no matter the circumstances, then we could make an impact on so many people. If we see someone is struggling, whether physically or spiritually, we need to act as Jesus did and help them. We need to put our problems aside and help others when needed. If I was a practitioner, I would live by this verse. I feel that when I help others, it's way more of a blessing than I'm just doing something for myself. So I really hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.